Welcome everybody to Sticks and Sips, big episode 28. I want to welcome everybody that's tuning in Facebook Landia. Make sure you check in from your neighborhood. I always love seeing where you guys are checking in from, where you're representing. And that to me is the biggest thrill of them all, how we go from coast to coast and then we cross those oceans. We get people from Australia, from Europe, everywhere watching us. So welcome to the Drew Estate Virtual Happy Hour. Like I said, you guys have been with us before or haven't. This is a show where we talk about sticks and we talk about sips and we get special guests that join us. And today is an amazing, amazing episode. But before I go there, I'm going to show you the menu for tonight because this is a happy hour. This is a chance for us to hang out. And today's cocktail, got to have a cocktail for happy hour. I call it the Irish Cold Brew. I'll tell you more about that later. Our sips, Jameson Cold Brew, Irish whiskey infused with coffee. And our sticks, Tabak Especial, Dulce and Negra. We got some great pairings with that. And our raffle, 5 VIP Barn Smoker packs. You guys are gonna love these. All you gotta do, hashtag Ask Frankie Drinks or ask a question to any of our guests. Make sure you hashtag it, Ask Frankie Drinks. And then one special winner gets to win this guy. This is our little boom box. And you guys get to one special question, get to take this home. Again, get those questions in early. And with that, I'm going to go to the Zoom and say hello to everybody. First, my very special guest, Mixmaster Mike. Mike, welcome to Sticks and Sips, brother.
Pleasure. Good to be here.
Dude, we are super honored to have you on the show. And we can't wait to get to your segment where we're going to talk about all sorts of things from Tabaks to Turntables, because that's what we call this episode, Tabaks and Turntables. And we're super excited to have you on. Next up, I got my man DJ Eli, which is our second guest tonight. And DJ, what's going on, bro?
What's going on, Frankie? How's everyone doing tonight? It's a pleasure to be here on Sticks and Sips. As always, shout outs to everybody in the comments because I know you guys keep those comments lit during this show. So much love, much respect.
Awesome. Listen, the guy that's made 28 episodes in a row, you know, he called himself the Robin to my Howard Stern, Mr. Joey Drew.
What's up, kids? What's going on? Hanging out. I'm still celebrating Rich Lie's birthday by smoking as many League of Tens as I can get my hands on. So for Rich Lie, happy birthday out there. And just chilling, 28 weeks, good stuff. Can't wait to see what we get into tonight. Let's go.
It's going to be great. So it's great having you back on. Next up, my man, Ryan Rayford, territory manager for Texas. And now becoming a regular on Sticks and Sips. Welcome, Ryan.
You know you love me, Frankie. Stop tripping.
Dude, yes, I do, man. You're one of my favorite people, and thank you for joining us today. We're gonna have a great time. Next up, I got my man Josh. He's a brand manager for Tabak, among many other brands, and he does an extraordinary job for us. And welcome, Josh.
Hey, how you doing? Excited to be here. 28 episodes, man. That's longer than a season. Look at you going strong.
Going strong, as our main man JD said, Sticks and Sips forever. So here we are. So listen, I'm going to start the happy hour with a cocktail. So if you'll allow me, let's throw up that slide. That first slide. What we got is I call this an Irish cold brew. So it's real simple. It's 3 ounces of cold brew, and it is 2 ounces of the Jameson cold brew. So I'm laying like some coffee, I'm laying some whiskey, and this is a cool drink for our area, because I know it's cold in other places, but for us it's something really nice. I got a little half and half, and in honor of my man Mixmaster Mike, who I know enjoys matcha tea, so kind of got inspired to do something a little special, kind of to incorporate a little coffee and tea. and throw up the directions on this. This is real simple. All you gotta do is fill a glass, about 3/4. You can use an Irish coffee glass or a Collins glass. About 3/4, you get the 3 ounces of cold brew, 2 ounces of your whiskey, and you could use the cold brew, or you got some other Irish whiskeys, a great choice. And yes, I'm using the Jameson infused whiskey with that. And then I do a little shaker, a little matcha tea, a little half and half. And if you want to omit the whiskey, no problem. Just do your coffee over ice, and you get this beautiful green foam.
Sick.
And there it is. So you've got your Irish cold brew. And with that, I'm going to do a little cheers for all of you guys out there that are joining us. And trust me, this stuff is really tasty. I'm going to enjoy it throughout the show. Cheers to you guys. Thank you again for joining us. And next up, listen, the man of the hour, our first guest. And I'm going to try to do him right by giving him the best introduction that I can. So he's a world-renowned DJ, back-to-back world champion. I'm going to use this term, turntablist, and I'm hoping I'm using it correctly. He was a resident DJ for guys you know very well, the Beastie Boys. 2012 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee. In 2017 was doing a stadium tour with Metallica, you know, one of my favorite bands. Played with Cypress Hill on that 2018-19 tour, and he just released his 10th album called Beat Odyssey. Without further ado, my special guest, Mixmaster Mike. Welcome to Sticks and Sips, brother.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure. Pleasure.
Dude, you know, introducing you, knowing what
should we bump cups?
Absolutely.
This is my matcha bowl.
There you go. I love it, man. Matcha's so delicious. So, you know, combining a little of that bitterness, offset with the, you know, with the sweetness of the coffee. It's really nice balance, especially with the Tabak.
And it's good for you too.
It's
nutritious.
Yes.
It's nutritious.
It's nutritious. We'll talk about the health benefits of matcha. You know, our man is health conscious. He needs to keep going because he's cranking out some amazing music. And I'm going to ask you, Mikey, listen, the big question everybody's asking, how'd you get started as a DJ?
Well, I mean, I grew up as a kid. My uncle had a huge record collection. And so I grew up around, like, you know, listening to like a lot of Hendrix, a lot of P-Funk, you know, Zeppelin, Miles Davis, Thelonious Monk. And so these guys were kind of like my heroes growing up, and it wasn't like really any hip hop artists. So it was, you know, I was fascinated with John Bonham, John Paul Jones. I mean, those cats. And so it was like, thank God my uncle had all these records. So when, you know, he was living with us at the time. And when he would go to work, he would tell me not to touch the records. And what the fuck did I do? I touched those fucking records. You know what I mean? I was like, I want to know what the fuck these records are about. So every day he was at work, I would like drop the needle on all these records. And it was, who was it? It was Led Zeppelin that really stood out to me. And it was just like, yeah. And that was my introduction to music, you know. Then there was the Rick James, and then there was all the other shit, all the funk. And yeah, so yeah, I grew up around listening to a lot of music, wide range, from jazz to blues to funk to rock, like, so yeah.
So let's go on. So, you know, you're exposed to music, and then how do you get, you know, into wanting to DJ?
I actually, you know, I used to watch Jimi Hendrix videos, and I wanted to be like that, but I didn't know how to play the fucking guitar. So I was just like, damn. And then I saw Grandmixer DST on the American Music Awards performing with Herbie Hancock, and it was a song called Rocket. And I saw him on the turntables, you know, scratching with his thumb. And that right there was like, oh shit, it's not the guitar, it's the turntable, which is my instrument. So it was like, I knew what I wanted to be then. I wanted to play the instrument the way Jimi Hendrix played his guitar. So it was just like I put two and two together and applied what I've learned through listening to Miles Davis and Hendrix, and just applied it to turntable, thanks to Grandmaster DST.
There was a question that came up inside right as we were getting ready. Who was really was that the first like major spotlight DJ to start scratching, or did it go before that?
Well, the inventor of scratching is Theodore, Grand Wizard Theodore, and shout out to Theodore. He's the inventor of the scratch, but DST took it to a worldwide platform.
That's so cool. So for those of you guys in the Zoom, you know where it started. All right. So
yeah.
So you start your DJing career. Let's talk about getting to the world championships, right? Of DJs. And you know, you took it to another level. What was that like?
Oh man. I don't know. I mean, I was just built like, you know, battling was, you know, kind of like the normal thing around my area growing up in San Francisco. There were other DJs that have started and whatnot, but I was like always had this elite confidence in myself that I could beat all these DJs. And that's what it was about, like battles in garages, house parties. And I remember my friends used to bet on me, and they used to make bets, and I used to battle other DJs at other people's houses in garages, and made my friends some dough, and figured out like, hey, from a local standpoint, I could take this to statewide notoriety, and that's when I won the California Cal Expo music lowrider championship, DJ championships. And I was just like, you talk about confidence. I was just like, oh shit, to be the champion of California was just like big. I was like, that confidence just went up, and then it went to, nationwide battles, into the world battles. So it was like, there was levels to it, but you have confidence in yourself. That's what it's about, and a little bit of ego, I guess.
Yeah, because you got to defend that ego. Absolutely, you got to defend that ego, right? So you got to give it 100% to make it happen.
But you got to do something to stand out. You know what I mean? Because everybody's becomes, okay, let's copy each other, and then it's like a dog chasing its tail. It's like everyone's recycling the ideas. So it's like, for me, I wanted to explore the boundaries. You know what I mean? I wanted to tap in to other channels of the universe. So that's what I was able to do, and kind of be like the Carl Sagan of the DJ world.
I love it. I love it. So listen, now I'm going to jump into, from that point to working with the Beastie Boys,
Yeah.
Tell us some of your most, treasured memories of that experience and what it was like for you.
I mean, I grew up listening to the Beastie Boys, so I was like #1 B-boy fan in high school. I mean, it's, kind of like, when people say the American dream, I would say that's a best description of the American dream for me, is to join a band of that caliber. And also, I just felt like I was part of them before I even joined the band. I felt like I was always this fourth Beastie member in some kind of way. And I knew I had something that can add to their arsenal. And so when I met Adam Yauch at a Rocksteady anniversary in New York City, we exchanged phone numbers. And at this anniversary show, it was all these hip hop artists everywhere. It's the Rocksteady crew hip hop anniversary. So, I mean, you have all these rappers and bands and whatever. Nas, Busta Rhymes, Leaders in the New School, all these, high profile rap artists. But then I see MCA, Adam, just hanging out by himself. I'm like, that's who I was attracted to. And that's who I was drawn to. I went over to him, and then we exchanged contacts, and gave me his number and the whole thing. And when he wasn't home, I would leave these messages on his answering machine. And that's pretty much that's how I transmitted that SOS signal to him.
It's listen, that's awesome. I mean, if for most of us that grew up with the Beastie Boys and kind of went through from their the first release, License to Ill, you know, and then your first album with them, which was Hello Nasty, and some of my favorite tunes. And in fact, you know, we had to, you know, get one of our very, very young guys, you know, exposed to 3 MCs and 1 DJ.
Right.
Which is, you know, these are part of our creative team. Joey, I'm not going to call out who, your team's never seen that video, but his name is Dario.
Yeah.
So, you know,
wasn't even born.
He wasn't born. And my man, David Torres, who loves video work. And, you know, we kind of like love that video. And I've got my little man here, which is a little Ghostbuster, just to emulate the backpack that you roll in with. Truly one of my favorite. I believe half the video is you walking down into the spot. You know, I'm like, these guys are really on the cutting edge of pushing envelopes in the music and video world. And you know, again, one of my favorite albums. And then
funny story is I walked in with that jetpack, and Adam and Mike had no idea. So I walked in like that, and they were like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "Yeah, this is where we're going." So I took them on the journey with me.
I love it. I
said, "Just remember the lyrics. Just remember your lyrics." But I used to always tell them, "Remember your lyrics."
Listen, that album, you know, busts out Body Moving as well. Yeah. And then, you know, the one everybody remembers, Intergalactic, you know, worldwide hit, you know, and you know, it's so much, you know, it emotes so many memories for different people at different times when that, you know, when that album came out, and seeing the difference of, you know, how that music had progressed, you know. So, you know, any other things with obviously making To the Five Boroughs, and finally the Hot Sauce Committee Part 2, which was the last album that they would release. You know, any thoughts, you know, memories that you want to share?
Yeah, I mean, you know, being with those guys, I just learned so much about being an artist and what it takes to carry yourself in front of people and on stage and the media and everything. As a musician, they went through that. You know, when I joined in there, they had all that knowledge, so they passed all that wisdom down to me as their little brother, and it's helped me throughout my career, throughout my solo career, and just all my endeavors. I give that to Adam Yauk, who is my true, like, that is definitely my teacher right there, my teacher of life. And I've learned so much, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to be a part of the band, as not only a bandmate, but as a family member. And these would be memories that I could, you know, remember for the rest of my life and carry with me.
That's phenomenal. And you know, to Adam Yauk, aka MCA, rest in peace, man. You made an enormous impact in the world of music, videos, and your impact on your social responsibility in the world and the things that you were involved with. So, you know, I say a toast to Adam's memory. So, and I'm so glad that you're with us, man, and telling us great stories. So cheers.
Cheers.
And listen, I don't know if he's ready, but you mentioned the American dream, and you know, my boss, the big boss, the founder of Drew Estate, is driving around New York City. He's doing big things with big artists, and you know, he's always been on the cutting
with a big mask. Look at that mask.
With a big mask, absolutely. He's always been on the cutting edge. he's the driving force that brought Tabak to the world, and I'm gonna give him some minutes to check in and just say hello, if he's ready. And I know he's
Yo, hang on one second. Oh, yeah. So, we were just talking a little bit about Rocksteady Crew,
Yes.
and I want to talk about Crazy Legs.
Yes.
The Rocksteady Crew was the piece of it that I wanted Mr. Wiggles, and it's
Yes,
funny
family.
because when I look at whether it's Ken Swift, all the shit I just left right here, the Futura was here in Manhattan, and
Yes.
I jumped in over there. It's like that's a big part for me, dude. And first of all, it's a true amazing honor and blessing to have you with us. Like this for me is just a pinnacle moment. I know for our team in the marketing department, we're into art, we're into, it could be from Papoose all the way up to or all the way across to Futura or Dondi White or Crazy Legs.
Right.
And just your history and what you bring to our show. Being with us, first of all, I just want to say, because I'm a fanboy, is much respect and thank you for blessing us, because we are really just internally, separate from the viewership and all of our people who we love and who we want to bring them great entertainment. You with us tonight, man, I just want to say thank you, big time. So thanks for being with us, dude, because it's a big deal for us that you're with us. The marketing department at Drew State loves you, man.
Oh cool. Man, I feel like I'm already part of you guys. Just reading up on the fucking history. I was like, man, I feel like I know these guys, and it's you guys represent a part of my DNA. So I was really like, I don't mess with brands, but this brand I could get down with. I feel like I'm at home with you guys. So salute to what you've done, and congratulations on your success as well.
Yo, much love. And listen, Frank runs a great show. We love it. We have so much fun. Sticks and Sips has become, what our culture as a company, this really falls in line with the free spirited. It's all about freedom. Drew Estate, the Acid brand in particular, yes. And music, culture, and that feeling that's indescribable. We put words to it, but it's that ultimate vibe and zone. And the fact that you're affiliated and been through wherever it is now, it's irrelevant to me, but through Rocksteady, I think that just adds so much to this. So that was the one piece that some of the gang may not have known about, that you were affiliated. And
I was part of it. That was my crew. I was part of the Rocksteady crew. Yes, I was a Rocksteady DJ. I was a Rocksteady DJ.
Yo, what about Ram LZ? When do you remember ever seeing Ram? Do you remember ever being at a show with Ram LZ, or you know what I'm saying, or what? What's up?
Oh no, well so Devious Doze is my boy. Like
Doze Green.
Yes, Doze Green is my other half right there. Like so when you talk about Ram LZ, you're talking about like the culture, right? The culture.
You want to hear some bullshit? At the Boston show, Fine Arts, they're gonna have Basquiat and Friends, where you're moving off the subway into b-boy music and art, and they ain't got Doze Green at Boston Art, which is bullshit.
Right.
Which is bullshit.
It's a fucking
no,
fallacy,
how you not gonna have Doze Green if you're gonna have that moment and that movement of b-boy, hip hop, and art, okay, and graffiti? Those the triple threat, Ram LZ, the triumvirate, point blank, and you ain't gonna have Doze Green in the middle of all that shit is fucking nonsense. And I'm all about Boston Fine Arts because I'm supporting Ram LZ, Dondi White, Lady Pink, all the early shit, Ram LZ. But what your background is so unique. Your time zone, you're so uniquely situated, brother, that for dudes like JD, my man Joey, who's with us tonight, who's my brother, it's for us, you know, dude. This is what it's about. You about it right here. So again, I just want to say, Frank, and thanks for setting up a great show. I mean, this is why I love my company so much, and having you with us is really takes shit to the next level. So thank you again, brother, for blessing us. And Frank, thanks, and Joey, everybody. This show was super cool for me, and I appreciate it.
Oh, I appreciate you. You know, I had my family lived in Managua, Nicaragua, right?
No.
What?
Yes. My wife's side of the family. My wife is Nicaraguan and Russian, so her family is from Managua, Nicaragua.
She's Nicaraguense. What is the last name, brother?
It is Copeland. It's Copeland.
I'm gonna check
Copeland.
it out.
Yeah.
Investigate it top to bottom. But
I used to watch a fighter called Ricardo Mayorga. And
the dude
Mayorga
almost
used
punched
to beat
me in the face.
He used to beat people's asses, and he used to spark up. Was it a cigar or cigarettes after he whipped someone's ass?
Dude, in the ring.
In the ring, yeah.
Mixmaster Mike in the ring. Mayorga was famous. All right, we went to see him in Madison Square Garden. Remember he came to Madison Square Garden?
Yes.
We all came. We saved up money. All right, me, Salute, Marvin, we all went to Madison Square Garden to see Mayorga fight Trinidad. And it was Trinidad's return fight. You remember? He let him punch him in the face 5 times.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Yeah. Like free hits. Free hits. I'll give you 5 free hits. And he took them.
Yeah, he lost the fight. Got his ass kicked because of that shit. He shouldn't have done it. He was tough as fucking nails. And I saw him in the airport coming home. And I tapped him.
Did you talk to him?
Yeah, he almost killed me. He was fucking pissed off about all sorts of shit. You know, you know what he does in Managua, yo? You know what he does?
What's he do?
He's got all these little fucking cars, these little like GTIs, like nasty little vehicles. I love it. But he races them. He races them in Managua. He's causing all sorts of trouble in Managua. He's always in trouble. He's always drunk, driving, falling asleep. And I'm not condoning none of that shit, but all I'm saying is,
of course not.
You pick the guy. He is as tough with that overhand punch that he throws over the top of his head right down your head.
No, I'm telling you, he's a freak. He's a freak of nature. He's one of those freaks, bro. He's like a one of one. But we need more characters like that in this sport. You know what I mean? People are wondering why the ratings are fucking down. We need more characters like that because that becomes must-see TV. Whether he loses or wins.
Frank, we gotta have this guy back with us and do some kind of special thing.
Yeah, we're going to Cigar Safari on a private safari with Mixmaster Mike. So let's do this thing, man. So let's everybody mask up like JD because he's proven he's the example.
City.
He's the example. Mask up. Let's get past COVID, and we'll have a special Mixmaster Mike Safari. Mike, you want to come down to the factory and check it out and see how we go from the ground to the box?
Anything you want to do, let's do this.
All right.
I'm with the Tesla. I'm with the Tesla tobacco, right? JD.
There you go. Listen, it's awesome to have JD. You know, he's chiming in. There he is. JD, I'm going to say thank you for tuning in. I know you're in the city. You're busy, but listen, it's always an honor to have the founder of the company, the guy that brought you the beauty of Drew Estate cigars to the world, and Tabaks. So, Mike, I'm going to ask you, how'd you get into Tabaks, man? I mean, what makes it your favorite stick?
Well, I just got into the art of smoking cigars. This pandemic, so I was stuck when my tour got canceled in March. I was on tour through Europe promoting my album Conquest, and I was on the world tour. I got pandemic hit. I got stuck in Paris, and I took a train to my boy's crib in Amsterdam. My boy Matt Swan. I want to give a shout out to Matt Swan. He's the CFO of Booking.com. So we both got stuck at his crib for like 3 months during the pandemic. I couldn't fly home. He couldn't fly home, so he had to work from there. So he has this fucking big humidifier full of these cigars. He has the Arturo Fuentes. He has all of the shit, the Partagas, all the shit. Like, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, you know what? We ain't got shit to do. What's that taste like? And so he opened it up and we sparked up an Opus X. And from there, I'm like, man, this is an interesting thing. So people like doing this shit. Huh? And I was thinking to myself, okay, cool. And then I got used to the taste. And then somebody turned me on to the Tabak. And this girl CJ at the cigar shop, when I flew back to the West Coast in California, she turned me on. She was like, check this out, Mike. This is a coffee infused cigar. And I was like, really? Word? So I tried it out and I was just like, oh shit. And that immediately got kind of hooked on it. And I was just like, oh shit, this is it. This is the flavor. This is the wave. And so ever since then, it was just like, you know what? I want to bypass the middle person, which was CJ, who turned me on to the Tabak. And I want to go straight to the source. So I went straight to the source. So I went to JD and you guys and bypassed CJ. And CJ's like, Mike, you haven't came by the cigar shop. What's wrong? I'm like, oh, you know, sometimes you just got to bypass the middle person.
Yeah,
I know somebody.
Yeah. Well, listen, man. Listen. Welcome. First of all, two things. Welcome to the journey with Drew State. You know, we are here with open arms, and we love not just you, but everybody out there that's starting their journey with us. Whether it's a Tabak, whether it's a Cuba Cuba, whether it's a Blondie, whether it's an Underground Shade. Welcome to the journey, because the journey is long and arduous. Because we got sticks for everybody. We got every profile, all the way up to that League of 10 that Joey's smoking and burning up, and while nobody's got any left. But thank you, Joey. I appreciate it. So while you're stuck in quarantine in Amsterdam, you're touring to support one album, and then you cut another album. So tell me about Beat Odyssey. How'd that happen?
Well, Beat Odyssey was something that I recorded before I left on tour. I recorded it with legendary drummer Steve Jordan, who has drummed for the likes of James Brown, Rolling Stone, and countless artists. If you look up Steve Jordan, you'll see his resume. But it was like, okay, I wanted to. Well, before then, I was part of the Emmys orchestra, and so that's how me and Steve Jordan met, and we connected so heavy that it was like, let's go and escape to Capitol Studios and record an album. So we took 2-3 sessions to record this album, and it was all off the top of the dome. Every song was all off the top of the dome, and we made. I told our engineer and Stevie J, I said, just keep the record button on, just keep it on. And give me all these drums. Give me a drum at 100, give me a 120, give me a 140, give me a 90, give me all these BPMs. And we just locked in and exploded and gave birth to this record right here, Beat Odyssey 2020. You're gonna like this shit. If you're into the improvisational, suspenseful head crack, that's what this is. So I'm very proud of it. Shout out to Steve Jordan and JV Records and Copeland Entertainment.
Well, that's phenomenal. How many guys can go in and crank that out in a few sessions is amazing. So I'm going to celebrate you as a musician and for what you do. Guys, check out mixmastermike.com and you get a little preview of Beat Odyssey. You're going to see a couple of tracks on there. You're able to do a little sample and then go ahead and download that shit because it's fire.
Yeah, and go on my SoundCloud too. You're gonna get the Beastie Boys Mega Mix. You're gonna get Conquest album. You're gonna get the Grime Reaper album. I made a greatest hits album while I was on quarantine. It's called Greatest, Mixmaster Mike's Greatest. And just go on to the SoundCloud and you'll get all of the gems, everything.
That's awesome. Mike, don't go nowhere. Because I know we got some people that really want to speak and they want to speak with you. But listen, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into that slide of Tabak because as we're celebrating Tabak with little Jameson cold brew. and you get that beautiful Connecticut shade wrapper on the Dulce. You get that broadleaf on the Negra, Nicaraguan binder, Nicaraguan filler, and it's beautiful coffee infused, which I call just a delicious, cigar for any time of the day. And my man Ronnie Heisha, if he's watching out there, he turned me on to pairing these with bourbon, and he's absolutely on the money. Great pairing. We got JD. We got JD slurping. Unmute yourself so we could see that ramen. Because if he's in New York and he's got that ramen. Show the ramen, JD.
I'll show you the ramen real quick because we got Mixmaster Mike. This ramen don't hold up. This ramen's strong, but it don't hold up.
Bro, are you living on the edge right now? Are you outside in public at a restaurant?
Outside, you saw I had the mask on for the whole show, remember, my brother.
Word, brother.
I'm right here outside, and
is that Wule Oak? Are you at Wule Oak?
This is a New West Malaysian. This is a Malaysian.
Okay.
This is beef right here, special beef.
Damn,
and it's a soup that they've been making me for years. It's got it's got these special noodles in it. Yo,
Damn.
But believe me,
Congrats.
I'm listening. I got my headphones in, and I'm gonna chomp a little bit on this right here, Malaysian soup, because that's what fat dudes do. But I'm enjoying this show so much, and it's so great that you love our products because we love you back 1,000 times more, brother.
Bro,
don't let
my
that
boy
soup.
Joey, who's on, and DJ Eli, and I see Rayfoot on there, and I see a lot of our crew is really paying attention. Like tonight, dude, this is
you got everybody. No
show.
one's interrupting you tonight. I'm interrupting JD. Get back to that soup before it gets cold. Listen, anytime you're with JD, his favorite food, soup. You got to grab it. Be it ramen, be it pho, be it Malaysian beef soup, it's all good. So listen, I'm gonna jump into one of my favorite people in the world. We call him the resident Drew Estate DJ, and it's DJ Eli coming from Chicago. What's up, brother? How are you?
What is going on, Frankie? And oh my God, just hearing Mike talk right now, like, for those of you guys that don't know, like, I have a pillar of my foundation for DJing, and Mike is one of those pillars coming up in DJing. And man, much respect. I told you from the beginning, much praise. You one of the forefathers that laid that groundwork for guys like me. So much respect, man.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
So Eli, tell us about that journey, man, because I know a lot of people see you on Instagram, and they know that you're a guy. We got an event. You come down and you spin some great tracks for us. We having a party. You come down. You're a barn smoker, spinning, and we're having a good time. But tell us about your journey as a DJ.
Man, so my journey as a DJ, so for those of you who don't know, before I was doing club DJing, I was a live show DJ for an artist by the name of Mars. He used to be signed with Korn's record label called Elementary, and when he got dropped from that, he came back to Chicago. We linked up. I started doing his live shows, touring, which piggybacked into touring with Tech Nine and Paul Wall on their tours, doing shows for them and opening up and having fun. And man, it was a blast. And then in the downtime, if you want to call it downtime, Mars is a big mentor for me in the music industry. He was like, you should try doing clubs, man. So I started talking to clubs and seeing what was going on with clubs. Because when I first started DJing, my journey started seeing the movie Juice, and he talks about the scratching. And I remember trying to mimic and lick my fingers and do my thing. Like the movie Juice, for those of you who have not seen the movie Juice, it's a great movie. Tupac's in it, Omar's in it. It's a classic. It's definitely one of the classics. It's up there. And
best movie ever made.
Yes,
Godfather
sir.
level,
man.
Yeah, and they had the DJ battle for world supremacy on that.
Yeah.
And it's ironic that was like the same battle that I won '92, which they made that into that. And that was definitely, man, that was up there as far as like movies. Juice was the shit.
It was, man. That whole scene and seeing them make the mixtapes and stuff, and being from Chicago, I was very fortunate. You DMC Champ and Bad Boy Bill was the guy that locally was like the god. He still is a god around.
Yeah,
here,
Bill. Yeah, yes.
Bill was ridiculous. Julian Jumbo Perez, the whole Hot Mix crew. So like, I was very fortunate to tune in Friday nights and hear these guys mix and do their thing. And it was one of those things of like when I would hang out with family out in front of the stoop on a Friday night, in Humboldt
Right.
Park, which is like a local Puerto Rican community out here in Chicago.
Right.
We would listen, they would put these songs on and everybody go nuts. And I'm like, man, I want to give that feeling. You know what I mean? Like Mike, you talked about digging in through, you know, your uncle's records. I did the same thing with my uncle, who I got a lot of his records that he's given me.
Right.
And my mom, who was like listening to everything on the spectrum. So again, I was very fortunate to have an abundance of music and abundance of taste. I never pigeonholed myself into one genre. I always consider myself open format, but my heart is going to be hip hop and you know, house and stuff like that. And yeah, man, it was just giving those feelings and then trying to learn. And man, and I'll tell you one thing, like I always try to scratch my ass off. I mean, I pulled, you know, a couple of these for those folks that don't know these, trying to get in there.
Yes.
Yeah, like these turntable techniques, you know,
yes.
like trying to learn my shit and being a fan of you and Qbert. And it was, I unfortunately, you and him were on a whole nother, I know for those that don't know, talk about like you guys were like space aliens, talking like aliens and scratching and doing those cuts and those records. And I would always try, my hand would cramp up real bad and I'd be like, fuck, you know what I mean? I'm like, he could do it, I could do it, you know, buying the DVDs and all that shit. And realizing that, you know what I mean? I'm like, scratching's dope, but I'm like, but I can't battle scratch. So I can't get into no battle scratches. So I'll just sit in the sidelines and watch, and I'll do live shows and I'll do clubs. So that's how like my journey started.
You know, the beauty is having a passion for something, because I know a lot of people that are talented, but they only have half of the passion. You can't go with half of the passion. You got to go full passion and full belief in yourself. You can't just go, I'm going to do this because everybody else is doing it. We did it because it was just like what we love to do, no matter what people think about it. This is how we communicate. You know, it's another form of communication.
It is. You definitely said it, you know, and it's now I see there's an overabundance of DJs that are jumping out and about more digital and stuff like that, which is totally fine. I don't knock it. I'm always for progressing. And I know things look a lot more easier for certain folks. But at that time, you only had a certain amount. People didn't want to be a DJ. They wanted to be the guy holding the microphone in front of the crowd. And I was cool because my personality was low key and quiet. I'll stay in the cut. I'll be in the back. You know, I'll get live and whatever. You could have the front and you could be the face. And because I was just so in love with music, man. And I wanted to be part of the music industry so bad. And I had my taste in it and touring. And I definitely miss it to this day. And I look forward for opportunities to come up, and doing touring technically with Drew Estate, doing all the events statewide it's a great feeling, man. And you definitely do have the passion. Passion is the key word. And Drew Estate as a company itself, everybody here in the Zoom and everybody part of the company all have passion for this brand. And I think that's how we just magnet towards each other. It's just that passion that we all have.
Exactly. And it's a passion, and it's through power of intention. It's your intention that, we're gonna grow together. When you believe that shit, whatever you think, it's gonna come. And you keep thinking the same shit, something's gonna happen. And it's like, if you all keep thinking the same shit together, shit's gonna rise. And I think the power of belief and faith is
you create that hive mind. It's a hive mind.
I'm telling you, man. Yeah.
Everybody gets in sync. The hive starts buzzing, intense.
That's what I'm saying.
You make the impossible possible. That's where you take a leap that you didn't even know was there. And that's the power of it. And that's through everything. That's through music, any passion you have, through music,
through
business,
everything,
through an idea that you have that you want to bring. That's what it's all about. And then to that scope of, like, you have this passion, you have a little bit of ego that drives you, but then you always have that humbleness of knowing, hey, I'm standing on the shoulders of someone else before me. And how am I going to do justice to that? You know, and that's so important as you grow as an artist, you know. And I get to go through some of that. I mean, I think my earliest, I guess, exposure to hip hop and rap in the early days with the scratching, it was so reminiscent to me as a musician from early Jamaican music, from Scratch Lee Perry, who did it with master tapes. You know, he was pulling that off before it was on vinyl. He was pulling it off on reel to reel, and that same style. And like, when I heard rap music and hip hop as it was burgeoning in New York, it was like, wow, it's so similar in many ways to that. And it was that I could see the connection. There's a lineage to that, which was really cool. And then, and it just exposes you to so much more music, because it's like, hey, you grew up listening to Zeppelin and Hendrix and you know, classic rock stuff, and then, you know, the funkadelic, and then now, you know, it's it whips its way through all this hip hop culture. It's amazing.
No, of course, and big shout out to cool DJ Herc, the founding father of hip hop. Took
Yes,
it from
sir.
Jamaica and took it over this way. And if it wasn't for that move, oh man, I don't know what we would be.
Yo, if you're gonna
where
bring
we
up
all would
DJ,
be.
if you're gonna bring up Herc, I'm gonna bring up Phase 2.
Phase 2. Rest in peace.
So I
Phase
want to say
2.
big up and rest
My
in
man.
peace to Phase 2. If you're gonna
My
bring
man.
up
Sir.
Herc, I'm gonna drop Phase 2.
Phase
Now
2,
it's a
king of the
battle.
king of the bubble letters. Yeah. Yes.
King
He's the king.
of everything. Created the
man.
arrow.
Woo! Created the arrow.
the
There you
arrow.
go. Everyone do the
Those are-
knowledge.
Listen,
it's-
you guys are phenomenal. Eli, I'm gonna cut you off because I need to celebrate you a little bit more. Not only a guy that truly enjoys cigars and really understands Drew Estate culture. He's not just a guy that enjoys a cigar. He lives Drew Estate culture, and I think, Mike, you coming telling us your story, sharing us your story, that's Drew Estate culture. You lived it before you ever put one of our cigars in your mouth. That's what we embody, that passion for what we do, and I am incredibly honored to stand on the shoulders of this incredible team and Jonathan, who founded this company that allows me this platform to bring in great people like you, Mike, and like you, Eli. And listen, I don't know how many other brands have a resident DJ, but I know one that does, and he's phenomenal. And I want to thank you for that, man. Thank you for always being part of the family and giving it your best. And even listening when I got to throw you down some freestyle tracks from Miami, which people, it's like, I know you got the Chicago stuff, but you got to dig deep in those B-side cuts, man. I'll give you some gold.
Hey, Frankie, but I dug deep for that Miami bass, right? You told me one little thing, and I was like, I fucking got you, and I came correct.
Yes, you do, man. Because the one thing that I admire about DJs, and I'll bring in Ryan in on this, is you got to know music, man. You can't be a great DJ without having a passion for all types of music. And hearing you guys say that is so inspiring. As a musician myself, and really it's how you expand those boundaries. And Rayford, man, I'm going to bring you in. Ryan, you do such an amazing job on your posts. If you're not following Ryan, make sure you do. It's Drew Estate Rayford on Instagram. He pops in at least an album a day, and he's bringing out these beautiful nuggets and of course, and a beautiful cigar going on top of it. So, Ryan, I know you've shared this, with us, inside the room, but, tell us how you got started with your love of music.
Oh man, my love of music goes back to when I was a kid. My dad listened to classic rock. You said Hendrix and Led Zeppelin and Four Tops, Temptations, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, Prince, Michael, Jackson 5. I mean, all the good stuff. I just grew up on that. So as a kid, I was the guy that knew all the words to those songs. I didn't really tap into hip hop until maybe middle school. Like I heard it in elementary school, but it was really middle school when I really got into it. And that was kind of like mid 90s, early 90s. And then that's when I found the genre of music for me, and then blending the culture of like sampling and the production and the songs that were used to make some of the hip hop tracks, and then going back and finding where they got that from. And then it just opened up a wormhole that I've been in my entire life, man. Like I'm a nerd for it. I listen to new music that drops every week. It used to drop every Tuesday. I was the kid that rode the bike to the CD shop, to the tape shop to like see what came out that day. I had the Source magazines, you know what I'm saying? Like checking the ratings, who got 5 mics this time,
No doubt.
I was that guy, man. So it's a pleasure to be on here with you. Beastie Boys. I remember that Intergalactic Hello Nasty, that album. when that dropped in '98. I was a junior in high school, and I was full-fledged. I mean, all of my money went to buying CDs, and it was mainly hip hop. So I appreciate the groundwork, man. And then the DJ world too. Like a lot of my good friends are DJs. I picked it up later on, but controlling a party, controlling a vibe, you know, like you said, the turntables are your instruments. So you guys are musicians, you know, above anything else. You guys create a vibe and you speak with your hands, you know, so I admire that. And that's a big part of who I am. I love music, man.
Love music and you love cigars.
Did you ever used to collect the Ultimate Breaks and Beats collection?
Yes. Yes.
You remember Breakbeat Lou put out these Ultimate Breaks and Beats, and he kind of put everybody on blast on where they got all the samples, and they were like, "Oh shit!" You're like,
and then,
"Oh, okay."
You go places and you hear people playing something, and you're like, "They're just playing like a live mix of somebody else." You know what I'm saying? Like, or they're playing like a classic blend, but they're not doing the blend. You know what I'm saying? So like,
no,
I get on that level, like that's not original. You know what I'm saying? So
no, definitely.
I don't
you put two and two together. Yeah.
You start hearing it's like, you know,
right?
Yeah, man. That it's a puzzle, and there's so many pieces, and when you start putting it together, it's magic, man. It's absolutely magic.
Yeah, but wait 1 second, and I know afterwards I'm gonna get my ass beat by Frank, but in front of him, Master Mike, what's the story with Max B? Where is Max B?
No, we're not doing that today, bro.
Free Max B. Free Max B.
Free Max B. I'm saying.
I got you, Mike.
No one likes it.
Okay, he's wavy. I see him with the glasses. He's real wavy.
No, these are my glasses. I want to do a little like plug. Black Flies MMM glasses. Go get them, y'all.
Mike,
I just saw JD with this shade, so I'm gonna join in. I'm gonna chime in.
Match up, Mike. I got a question for you though, man. And we talk about this all the time. I had an event with JD back in December last year, and we were battling over the aux chord. He wanted to play like you know, I wanted to throw on some Dipset. You know what I'm saying? So we got into it, but he has Max B in like his top 5 MCs of all time. I think that's ridiculous.
I corrected that. I corrected that.
What'd you say?
I said I corrected that. Top 25, but don't discount Max B. Don't even think about it.
But no, I want to know, like, who's
that wave
Rushmore of MCs?
Who mine?
Yeah, your top 5.
Oh shit, man. Wow. Man, that's tough. Of course, the God Rakim Allah.
Okay.
Rakim Allah, you can't count him out. I mean, come on, man. Lyrically, I mean, God, KRS. Come on, like, KRS. Of course. In today's rap, Kendrick.
Okay, you got Kendrick in top 5. I like it. I'm not mad.
You know what? Shit. Then we got LL Cool J, right? And then we got Eminem, though. We got Eminem. We got Eminem. Then we got Nas. So we got a slew of them. I mean, shit.
Yeah, I mean they're all part of. You know what? It's also based on the generation that they thrived in. You know, It's kind of like it's that GOAT thing. It's like who's the greatest of all time, but it's really about who is the greatest of their era. Who's the guys of their era that just rule over everything?
You know, I gotta say LL Cool J to me, man.
Yes, sir.
What LL Cool J did to me, man, when he dropped like, you know, Dangerous and Rock the Bells and Dear Yvette and all the shit, like it was like, wow, this guy's just wow.
Yeah, he took it to another level
swag on a whole nother level.
Yeah, and then it opens the door for everybody listening to say, wow, that's what I want to do. The same way that someone hears you do what you're doing to say, hey, I want to do what he's doing. You know, and it just builds that lineage further on, you know. You're a stone in the way.
It's funny, and my bandmate Ad Rock actually discovered LL Cool J.
Yeah.
And we found a tape in Rick Rubin's basement of LL Cool J, and that's, you know, we wouldn't be talking about LL Cool J if Adam didn't go and do those boxes and pull out those tapes. But I mean, when we're talking about GOATs, though, let's round it down to top 3. I'm gonna say Rakim is in my top 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
That's
LL Cool J in the top 3? Possibly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Who's the other
who's that?
What was that? Say it again.
two? Who's the other 2? Top 3, since you brought it up.
But this is hard. Are we talking about catalog, or we're talking about like them going at it bar for bar?
No, we'll put it. I'll put it to you this way: if we put on the same beat, who's the first 3 that you want to hear rap over it from any era? Because they're different eras. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can pull a GOAT from each era. But if it was just one beat and you want to hear 3 cats rhyme, who are they?
Marshall.
Marshall. Okay.
I want to hear Marshall, and I want to hear Kendrick.
Okay. And LL.
Whew, LL. I mean, see, LL wasn't really like. He could rip on the freestyles, right?
Busy, but he started tending to the ladies a lot later on. You know, that's another discussion.
I'm throwing Big Pun in there. How you gonna Big Pun has got to be in there too.
Oh, Pun. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Pun was a beast. Yeah. No, Pun was a beast. Pun's a beast. And you know, I might sound biased, but I mean, like, Be Real was my boy. Like,
oh,
Be Real is like another beast to me personally. Yeah. But yeah. The thing is, we were so
crazy in the comments right now.
You know what? We were so fucking spoiled though, right? With all of these guys, we were spoiled.
That's my thing. So like, I went back and studied the era when I was a kid. I studied the 80s, late 70s to get the foundation of it. But like, I came up with Nas, Biggie, Scarface, H-Town Stand Up.
No doubt.
Hove, Eminem.
Oh shit, that's right.
Like, I remember when Eminem, I remember seeing Slim Shady, the video on MTV when it first came out. And I was like, yo, like what? Like, I was so confused. You know what I'm saying? Didn't know that Dr. Dre was behind it. It was like, yo, this is crazy. He's rhyming crazy. People saw it as like a gimmick, but no, Marshall can go. I'm gonna throw one at you.
No.
Black Thought is a rapping cyborg.
Very underrated. Black Thought is very underrated, and I'm gonna throw Royce the 5'9" into that mix too.
Royce too.
I'm gonna throw Royce in that too. Okay. Underrated.
Hey man.
But that goes to show you, like, there was some kid on my feed that said, like, young kid was saying, "Oh, Young Thug is the GOAT." I'm like, bro, nah, stop it. He needs to be. I need to put him in the penalty box. Yeah, go to the penalty box right now.
Yes, yeah.
Well, what we need to do is educate them on stuff that's led to where we're at, right, with music, and that's the big key.
But at the end of the day, it goes to bad parenting, right? At the end
they get you enough CDs and records, got you.
Right. Like,
so all parents out there, make sure you buy your kids your Apple Music gift card, and they can download the good music.
To, man, I swear if they weren't raised on the good stuff, they won't know the difference when they get older.
True. No, so we can't. Yeah. So we can't like send them to the corner and put them on timeout because they don't know any better, right?
Yeah.
They don't know any better, so it's not their fault. That
this conversation
they think Lil Yachty is the GOAT.
Yeah, going from the best MC to how we parent. So listen, this is. Listen,
Where would we be if Big L was still with us? Ooh. Big L, come on.
Yeah. Heat.
Don't forget Big L.
Fireball. That motherfucker's like, yeah, spits.
Listen, I'm gonna go to Joey. Joey, listen, it is National Mezcal Day. And,
yes, it is.
It's like Joey's second birthday. He's a lover of mezcal, and he celebrates mezcal every day. So what is it? What's on? What are you celebrating National Mezcal Day with today?
With mezcal, Real Monero. This stuff is killer, man. Killer stuff. Not for everybody.
Oh.
I know Ryan Gallimore had some last night with me, and he was like, it was like drinking gasoline for him, I think. So so it was good.
It's an acquired thing.
It is definitely
you know,
an acquired taste, but once you get that acquired taste, then you get on the journey like everything else in life.
Yeah,
You know, you go on the
absolutely,
road.
absolutely.
So I'm gonna throw some goats into the mix here. I didn't hear Big Daddy Kane's name mentioned, and that just makes me upset to my core.
Rapper Kane, yeah.
And then Ryan knows what I'm gonna drop next because I dropped it on a Zoom the other day. Doom is
MF Doom.
When he
MF
lights
Doom?
it up. When he lights it up, there is nothing like that on this planet. I mean, he's on another wave, on something else. He's not in the same zone as the rest of us.
What about early Ice Cube?
Oh, boom!
Early Ice Cube
America's Most Wanted, the greatest gangster rap album ever made. Like that record right there, when he hooked up with the Bomb Squad in New York City and fused that
changed the game.
Game changer. Out of here. One of my top 5 hip hop records.
Yeah, there's one problem. Joey, all you.
Uh-oh.
No one's talking about CNN. Noriega Capone, first album. CNN. War Report, period. End the story. Put the comments over.
Okay.
All right. Damn.
All right.
Okay.
So yeah, if you've got some comments in regards to any of these guys' top MC picks, make sure you throw it up there. But listen, I need to bring in a guy who's so integral to the Tabak brand, so integral to Drew Estate. He's a brand manager. If you guys knew what he's got to do to make sure you guys got sticks at your local brick and mortar, you would not envy his job. But he does an amazing work for Drew Estate with that. But more importantly, he's a big Mixmaster Mike fan. So I want to welcome Josh Roque. How are you, brother?
It's good to be here. So I want to start out.
So tell us your top 35 MCs.
Top 35 MCs. Let me start with number 1.
How about one?
Dylan.
Exactly. I'm going to throw out some random Filipino artist, APL or something like that. No. For top, I've been a huge fan of Talib Kweli, like forever and a day. That guy knows how to spit. One of my favorite albums was the Black Star he did with Mos Def. Likewise, J. Cole, huge guy for me. Kendrick, I love. When I grew up listening to Tupac, to listening to Biggie, Gangsta's Paradise by Coolio was like the popular song when I started getting into music.
Dangerous Minds soundtrack.
Yeah, exactly. Dangerous Minds.
Still is.
Troubled kids in a suburban neighborhood at a private school.
It wasn't Michelle Pfeiffer in that Wasn't Michelle Pfeiffer in that Gangsta's Paradise album video?
Yeah, she was actually, I think. But it's hilarious that I finally get to meet Mixmaster Mike through this, because when I was younger, and I can actually say like this was like 20 years ago, makes me feel old, but I had told my parents that like, yo, mom and dad, I think I wanted to be a DJ, and they laughed at me, because obviously like whose kid comes up to them, they're like, mom and dad, I want to be a DJ, and so they chuckled at me. They're like, well, look, number one, there's no such thing as Filipino DJs. And I was like, well, this is the age of the internet, and I'm here to prove you wrong. So the first thing I do, go into Google, search Filipino DJs. Lo and behold, who comes up? Well, it's Mixmaster Mike, Qbert, the Invisible Scratch Pickles. And so I was like, look, like this guy is the resident DJ for the Beastie Boys. I could clearly be a DJ, mom and dad. And they're like, no, you can't anyways. And so instead of becoming a DJ, I became a huge fan of his music. And so like listening to the Invincible Scratch Pickles, listening to your guys' sets, the 92, 93 DMCs, I got fully engrossed into the whole idea of turntablism. And so that's been like one of my forming moments, is just like this completely off the wall way of doing music. And it was so great to hear. I'm one of the first people who bought the Wave Twisters DVD, and I think you were in that. And I was like, okay, this is fucking cool. Like this is like Hanna-Barbera, but just psychedelic. And it's funny because I presented a campaign that was kind of space team, And like in the back of my mind, I was just like, you know, I've got space, I've got all this cool stuff like incorporating into the brands. But like in the back of my mind, I'm here thinking wave twisters and how completely off the cuff that was. And so like you guys as an artist, and especially you, is just like innovating stuff that helps me when I was, you know, developing like, hey, this is how you can do something different. This is how you can, you know, try to incorporate something that people don't expect. And so we do the same thing with cigars. At the end of the day, like people don't expect a coffee infused cigar. And then all of a sudden here it is. People don't expect a cigar that, you know, you can't really describe the taste of, but it's amazing. And then here it is. And then on top of that, when you've got your laurels and you've got your things there, people don't expect you to make a traditional cigar that kicks ass. And so that's the huge thing. Like we did everything different, and then we came back and we're like, we could do traditional too, but better than everybody else. And so that's what we did. And so in developing all these products and stuff like that, like it's good to pay homage to the people that you get your motivation from the people that you know that help develop you as a person. So I wanted to thank all that to say thank you for being here. My brother is so jealous right now because I was like, dude, I'm going to be on a show with Mixmaster Mike and everybody's going to be there. And then he's like, oh, I'm so fucking jealous because he loves you guys just as much as I do. So
that's awesome.
Mad props.
Salute. Man,
all right.
salute.
So
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. Listen, that's the most Josh has ever spoken at any one time ever. So I feel it because he is passionate about what he does, and to find out what inspires him and how we bring the worlds together is awesome. So guess what, Josh, you're not off the hook, man. I got to give away. It's that time. Ask Frankie Drinks, right? But listen, I'm giving away this beautiful Barn Smoker Survival Pack, and William Lewis shoots a question over, and I'm throwing it to you.
Okay.
What is your favorite music, drink, and tobacco combo? Go for it.
Music, drink, and tobacco combo. Oh, this is going to be weird. So if I'm smoking a tobacco, I would want to be drinking just straight up black coffee because, you know, the sweetness of the tobacco, the black coffee, I think those are perfect for me. So what do I listen to while I'm doing that? So that's where, you know, I'm going to throw a little bit of a weird mix into this. So I've got a pretty eclectic taste, and I probably would choose some Led Zeppelin to listen to. Just been trying to get into guitar as of late. You know, I didn't get a chance to be a DJ, but at least I get to play some guitar, and I've been really pulling into some Led Zeppelin. There you go.
There you go.
Rayford's rocking the Led Zeppelin record right there, and so that's what I would be listening to.
Great album.
Awesome. I'm going to go to our next question. So congratulations, William. Our next winner for the Barn Smoker Survival Pack, John Hinderman II. Ask the DJs where your favorite spot to spin is, alone or small group, house party, or club venue. So I'll hit DJ Eli first. Like, what's your favorite spot to spin? It's pretty much the question.
Favorite spot to spin locally. I mean, if I mention anything local, nobody won't really know it. But when I toured, I played up in Minnesota at a place called The Rave, and that place was awesome. It was a real dope spot. My favorite spot to mix. And so I guess essentially my favorite spot to mix is in front of a full live crowd at a live show. I love the club stuff, don't get me wrong, but I like a live crowd, live people, like we did in Vegas for TPE back in January. Everybody's there. It's fun.
Awesome. Mike, what's your favorite? I mean, you've done stadiums, man. So, you know, but what's your favorite venue to spin at? Small, large, you know.
I love the intimate settings, of course, but always like, I mean, stadiums are just really just crazy, you know. I mean, MetLife Stadium to Bronco Stadium. So we did all the stadiums with Metallica, but the one that sticks out in my head was Madison Square Garden with the Beasties 2 nights, and that was pretty surreal. You know what I mean? That's kind of one of those pinch myself moments to be there. But so many venues. I mean, across the world.
Love it. Love it. So thank you guys. Next up, Greg Phillips. Ask Mike, as a musician myself, what was a moment in your career when you knew you finally made it? So Mike, when did you realize, wake up one morning and said, I've made it? And that's a question by Greg Phillips. Thank you, Greg. Congratulations on the VIP Barn Smoker. So like, what was that moment, man? I mean,
I'm trying to pinpoint that. There's so many, because I'm so used to going hard all the time. So I don't really look back. But I finally, during this pandemic, it's funny because I kind of realize everything. Now that I'm at a standstill, I'm here, I get to soak it all in. I guess now during this pandemic, it's like, I kind of realized all the stuff I've been through and all the stuff it took to get here. So, and that's how I, ultimately got into these Tabaks, because I see these as a celebratory moment to spark up. So, I wish everybody a celebratory moment in life, you know what I mean? And I'm just blessed, you know what I mean? I'm at this point where I'm smelling the roses, and I'm here with you guys, and I'm kind of realizing how blessed I am as an artist and a musician. So, salute.
Well, I think I'll use a term that, hard work and passion does pay off, and I think we live it, living with the world JD has built for us with hard work and passion, and with you.
And being addicted to your art. You know what I mean? Because right now, when we get off right now, I'm gonna turn on my laptop and shit. I'm gonna cook. So I'm just gonna cook just to cook and see what happens.
There you go. Well, I hope being on here inspires you. You can call this a Frankie Drinks mix. I won't take offense. I'll give you the licensing, man. It's all good. So thank you, Greg, for that great question. Ken Melendez, congratulations on the VIP Barn Smoker Pack. What comes first, the beats or the rhymes? Anybody got an answer to that? Do the beats inspire the rhymes? Do the rhymes inspire the beats?
Well, before, when hip hop was created, it was all about the DJ first, right? In the parks, it was the DJs going back and forth and extending breaks and whatnot. And then the rappers had a bed and a platform to spit over. So it's the beats first.
First, baby.
Love
beats
it.
first.
Love it.
Yeah.
Ken Melendez, you're getting it from the source. Beats come first. It inspires the lyrical machine. So thank you, Ken. Thank you, Mike. We got Theron Ballsball. Ask DJ Eli, we need to get a DE DJ scratch off setup. I don't know what that means, but I'm going to commit to that. He's down, bro. He's down.
I'm down, and to hold you over for right now, you can head over to my SoundCloud, listen to Blends for Blends. I got Volume 1, Volume 2 out there, as well as myself and Rayford work on the official Spotify Drew Estate playlist. And you want to get some music feels, just open up your Spotify, look up Drew Estate Cigars, and enjoy the journey that Rayford and myself have curated for you. To hold you off for now.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And Josh will be holding the money during the bets. So we, so everybody can get involved. We're taking bets via Bitcoin. Anyway, and the big Bump Box giveaway. Congratulations. This is the moment you've all been waiting for. This is my John Cusack moment, holding it above my head, but none of you can see that. So it's not playing any Peter Gabriel. So right now.
Shout out to my boy Rob at Bump Box. That's the Bump Box Ultra, and that's a beautiful piece of equipment right there.
Right. And so thank you, Rob. Thank you for the team at Bump Box for working with Drew Estate.
Bump Box.
We love you guys. And this one is, it's such a great size, great sound. And the big raffle winner, Tim McCabe. Tim McCabe, you win this Bump Box from
Congratulations.
the Sticks and Sips show.
Yeah.
All right. So the big question is, and Mike, you get the honor, but so Tim can win this. You need to answer this question correctly. If not, then it goes into my personal storage. So are you ready, Mike?
Yeah.
Did you start with the Techniques 1200 or something else? Now, don't get this wrong. Tim's bump box is riding on this.
Does Tim agree with this?
It doesn't matter. This is my show. So, Mike, what turntable did you start with?
So I didn't start out with turntables in the beginning because I couldn't afford it. So I started out with tape decks, and I used to make pause mixtapes.
Pause tapes.
And until, because, saving up lunch money was not going to buy me a turntable. So I decided to get into the marijuana business. And there, my first turntable was right in front of me.
So what was that turntable?
The Techniques SLB 200. Straight tone arm. That was the one where you had to put the quarter on top of the needle so for it to not skip.
To weigh it down, yeah.
Yeah, you had to put quarters and dimes.
See, look, tape. Tim, I'm gonna give you the bump box and let you take it home, and we'll get this out to you because that was such a great question. We had such a great story with Mike telling us that the start wasn't actual turntable, was tape decks, and then we graduated there thanks to the bud, and we're always going to be thankful for that. Listen, we got to the end of an amazing show. I don't know how long I've been on, but man, so many great stories by everybody here. And, I'm going to go just around and say thank you to Josh, brand manager, Supreme, for Drew State, and hearing what inspires you, when we're creating these great products at Drew State. Drew State, Rayford, man, you always bring so much to the conversation, and thank you for sharing your love of music, man. And much honored to have you on again.
Thank you,
DJ
brother.
Eli.
You got my correct address for my check for my appearance for this evening. And
yeah, dude, I'll send it to you in Bitcoin. It's all good. My man DJ Eli from Chicago, man, thank you for all you do for Drew State, man. We love having you as part of the family. It's always good. We can't get together physically, but this is like the next best thing. And thank you for tuning in to Sticks and Sips. I know you're always active on the Facebook, and I appreciate it. And it's great to have you on, especially on this show. And listen, we can't wait to hear your next mix. And when we're doing a barn smoker or another event for Drew State, so.
No, I said, Frankie, I appreciate the invite as always. It's been a pleasure. You definitely helped me check off an item off my bucket list today here with Mike. So, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate it again. Thanks for having me, man. I look forward to coming back on again. Awesome,
man. Thank you. My man, Joey Drew, my right hand that makes that holds the show together for me.
I'm the Robin, baby.
Another huge week, man. Another huge week for us.
Another huge week. And to talk about what Mike brought up earlier, is like, you know what? I don't think we've ever made it. If you think that you've made it, then you're done. And we're not done. No. We're still, you strive, you keep working, you keep grinding, because there's something better than what you have already done ahead of you. And you got to keep that up. And I love that. That's what Mike's doing. He's not resting on his laurels. He's building off those laurels to keep pushing it forward. And there's greater success ahead. So cheers to you, brother. Thanks for joining us tonight, man. Appreciate it.
I appreciate you, bro. Yeah.
And
I want to give love to you, Frankie, Jonathan, Joey, Joshua, Jack. I appreciate your company, and I'm glad to be a part of the team, and I look forward to many experiences ahead, many chapters.
There we go.
And chapters of brilliance and everything. Beauty amongst the chaos.
Yeah.
That needs to be the next record drop. I'm calling it right now. Mike, thank you Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being part of the show and bringing so much and sharing so much. Your incredible history has definitely enlightened so many of us here and so many of our people watching the show. And, you know, you're an inspiration, and to keep going strong and keep on creating. That's what we're all about, man. You know, that's what we're all about. And thank you for embodying that spirit of Drew Estate. And with that, man, listen,
I appreciate you.
Show's over, guys. You know,
hey, I want to give a shout out to I want to give a shout out to my charity, Vogel Alcove. It's a homeless children's center in Dallas, Texas. I want to just give a shout out to them, and just want to do my part to provide relief for those affected physically and financially by COVID. So yeah, just shout out to my charity and Copeland Entertainment, and that's it. So
give us a charity's website.
Vogel Alcove, VOGELALCOVE.org.
Excellent, guys. What we accomplish without helping others at the end of the day means nothing. So as long as we're helping others, and that is a huge thing. So thank you for mentioning that. Listen, next week it's Halloween week, so check it out. It's also the premiere of The Mandalorian, so you never know what's going to happen. And so make sure you tune in, because Frankie Drinks has got something special for you next week, on top of all the new sexy Sticks and Sips swag that's coming. And with that, guys, we are out. Another episode of Sticks and Sips. The Drew Estate Virtual Happy Hour is over. I said toast to everybody out there. Cheers. We love you.
Good riddance.
We're out.
Later.
We're out.
Okay, brothers.
Hey, hang on.